Welcome back. Well, let's go check in on the media space for this week and what else is making news, because, of course, we were just talking about, I guess, media regulations and a lot of the lobbying going on for the government. Well, the subscription television industry has been in Canberra this week, and also coinciding with the
press galleries.
Yeah, the annual cocktail party, which was hosted by David Spears from Sky News, the Midwinter Ball.
Sure, yeah. Look, it's everybody likes to get out and push their point of view, so Foxtel send down executives from most of the channels go down there. A big plane load of talent they send down there as well. The ministers and their staffs come in. It's an early evening thing, about 6:30, so they show them some of the highlights of programming. I think they got to see Banished this year. Was shown to all the politicians who went to the party. They get a little goodie bag. There was a sweet bar set up, a lolly bar, which was apparently well frequented by all the guests. And then, of course, the Foxtel people stay down in the day between the cocktail party and the Midwinter Ball. They have lots of meetings with relevant ministers to give them an update on the sector. And then all the media people, not just subscription TV, like to get along to this ball. You get people from Fairfax, from News, the free-to-air broadcasters. And
all the politicians, by the looks of it.
Yep, sure.
Now, there was also some big announcements this week coinciding with that from Foxtel, particularly for increased funding and for content. And we know Foxtel's doing a big push for Australian content as well.
Yeah, look, there weren't any firm figures attached to how much more they'll be spending, but I think Astra quotes a figure of something like 600 million is spent on content annually by the sector. So, look, that won't be double, but we'll see it rise significantly. It's going to be quite significant for viewers too. We're getting 5 new drama series every year, 9 entertainment series every year, 6 new doco series. So that's a lot of TV.
Yeah, a lot of content.
But we see those subscription TV figures every week. That Australian content does very well, whether it be the new comedy on the Comedy Channel, the dramas like Wentworth, Australia's Next Top Model. So they all do very well. So Foxtel's seen this as a real way of, OK, it's a real difference. The viewers love this stuff. We'll start making more of it.
All right, I want to talk about some interesting data as well that's being compiled out of the UK. And this week, it's about global non-network TV revenues, a prediction on streaming revenue, of course. What have we heard?
Yeah, look, it's they count this. So this is, they call it OTT revenues, and this is all TV that's non-network television, if you like. So it's revenues earned by subscription fees for things like Netflix and video watched online. That accounts for about $26 billion at the moment. That's going to double in the next 5 years, so it's fairly significant. And the revenues from SVOD services will overtake the ad revenues from the... so it's really going to be generating some big dollars, that SVOD.
All right, you know we love talking about media moves in the management space and in the different executive spaces. News this week that Kim Wilson won't be returning from leave to New Idea magazine. Who's taking that job, or who's continuing? Louisa
Hatfield has been filling in for Kim Aussie. Well, Kim had a baby recently. She's been over in the UK. She's doing a bit of study over there, so she's decided not to come back. I think it's been about 5 years running New Idea, and running one of those weekly magazines. It can be pretty gruelling. So it's a
lots of deadlines.
Very competitive space. Yeah, weekly deadlines is a killer. And those big events, they do special issues and bung them out quickly.
You know all about that, James.
You do all night stuff like that. Yeah. So Louisa Hatfield. Louisa's worked in this space for Bauer ACP, so she knows what she's taking on there, and she says she's up for the challenge.
Now, speaking of all these changes in the media space, talk this week in confirmation that the NRL has been talking to Google over rights. What's this all about? Yeah, well,
it just shows you how we really, you keep saying about the, the anti-siphoning and stuff like that. We really need to jazz up those antiquated media laws when, someone like Google could come in and theoretically take all the rights if it bid high enough.
Could that happen?
Very unlikely. But we have seen Google in the space before. They had some Premier League, I think, cricket in India. Via YouTube, they show a lot of Olympic rights in a lot of countries around the world.
Sort of,
yeah,
broadcasting.
But, it would be unusual for them to take a sport which is really only big huge in 2 markets, if you like, which is New South Wales and Queensland.
All right, over to the radio sector. We haven't really covered that this week. News that ARN is expanding the Hughesy and Kate Drive show into Perth market, so it's obviously doing quite well. We saw the ratings.
Yeah, they're claiming that's the #1 drive show around the country now, and so they're saying, all right, look, we bought 96 FM earlier this year. We really want to expand that offer, so give advertisers the opportunity of being in every metro market, so that'll be moving in there.
Has the early return of Hamish and Andy prompted that?
I think it probably has. Look, they would have done that eventually anyway, I think, but Hamish and Andy coming back a week earlier, which isn't a massive deal, but it interrupts the annual mid-year break for radio teams. So they usually take a holiday. it'd be a very brave drive radio show that decided to go on holiday the week Hamish and Andy come back. Because they would have been working pretty hard to build their audiences with Hamish and Andy out of the market. So
they have to change their holiday plans.
I think it'd be wise.
They will not be happy about that. All right, let's take a look now at the ratings for week 24. Kicking it off with free to air. And there you have it, MasterChef in there again. I mean, it usually makes the top 10.
Yep.
We've got 7
well
news
sprinkled through there.
And 9 news in there as well.
Heston week on next week, which it always does. It's usually the peak viewing time. Heston Blumenthal when he comes on MasterChef, so people love that.
Card there.
So I think they'll do well with it.
All right, turning the page, let's look at the rest of the top 10 as well. We've got 9 news, 7 news in there, MasterChef again, and The Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory hasn't been on for a little while. 9 have only got a couple of new episodes left, I think, before the new season starts later in the year.
All right, let's flip it over and look at subscription television ratings now for week 24, starting with the most watched sports programs. No surprises, NRL and AFL both making that list. The Eels versus Cowboys taking up the top spot there. And the flip side, the non-sport.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. That's the penultimate episode. We'll see how well I don't think anybody will be surprised to see that number one again next week.
Open Slater, yeah, doing pretty well.
Yeah, I was struggling for the name before. But yeah, look, that's why Foxtel, big investment in that, and so they want to do more of that in the future.
And speaking of ratings, which will probably make it in as well in the next couple of weeks, State of Origin, of course, the second game. This week. What?
2.6 roughly million, up nearly 200,000 on game 1.
And of course, now that game 3 will be the decider, it's obviously going to pull in the ratings, isn't
yes, we could expect that one to push even higher. Yep. When you add in the regional figures, that could even brush 4 million.
Really?
Yeah, for game 3.
Okay. Well, we'll be watching for those in the ratings. Now, also news in TV this week, and there's been a lot of sort of speculation over why and what, but Chris Barth obviously leaving the 7 network. It's been confirmed. We've got a lot of different reasons as to why, though. Yeah,
look, some people have been saying, look, there was a pay dispute. She was on $800,000, a contract negotiated, I believe, by John Hardigan, who was here a couple of weeks ago. We could have asked him if only we'd known Ingrid at the time. But they wanted to chop her back to maybe $500,000 because she lost the weekday job. She went on to host Sunday night and just read the weekend news. Yep. But she's saying, no, look, it's not really about money. It's time for me to step away and look at something else. So she does say, look, she's a bit... I don't know, embarrassed, but she doesn't want this to be a farewell tour for her because she expects to have another job.
Right.
Not
so
sure
we
how
haven't
long
seen the
before
last
it will
of
be,
her
but
just
she
yet.
will be back, yeah.
And Melissa Doyle.
Yeah, Melissa Doyle, it's a good get for her. She'll step up to read the weekend news in Sydney, of course, and 7 News. It's Friday night and Saturday night, and then also hosting Sunday night.
Now, a new documentary coming out on Qantas to be screened on 9. What's this all about?
Yeah, I believe Fremantle Media is going to make this, so it's going to be a bit of an odd doc. We've seen this on overseas airlines. Was it EasyJet in the UK where they get behind the scenes and see all the troublesome customers and stuff like this? And I think Tiger Airlines did a series here in Australia too.
Oh, so it's that sort of documentary? It's sort of a drama documentary?
I think it's an ob doc they call it.
Okay.
Yeah, so observational documentary, and they just, go behind the ticketing desk and show you all the problems that the customers have and what happens with delayed flights, what happens behind the scenes on board with the crew and stuff like that. So it could be quite interesting.
Very interesting indeed. Okay, that will screen on 9. All right, well, that is all we have time for on this special edition of Media Week. A big thank you to James Manning from Media Week, our co-host today. Thanks for your company. We've got more news and analysis coming up for you next.